What's going on, people? Black Pill Red here. Joe Biden says he has a lot of wind. Man, wind was blowing so strong that it blew him off the stairs. Anyway, I received a lot of questions on why I chose the name Black Pill Red. This is the reason why. It's a state of mind brought upon by the realization of harsh truths, seeing reality and society for what it truly is beyond the illusion of equality we are led to believe. It is the understanding that life is ultimately unfair and that winners and losers are determined, for the most part, by circumstances beyond one's control, like looks, wealth, inner condition, height, race, family, luck, etc. The despair that arises from taking in the black pill can be crippling, and it might drive some to the brink of insanity. Wow, it's crazy, isn't it? And you say, why would you choose that name? Well, I call it Black Pill Red because I'm trying to reverse that. I'm trying to reverse and get people to take the red pill to let people know that, hey, it doesn't have to be this way. It was only this way because it was an agenda pushed by certain people. Names that don't need to be said in this category here. But sooner or later, you will find out once you take that pill and discover that it's not what you think. Joe here on Black Pill Red. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone enjoyed that intro. That was Joe Biden. That was Brother Biden. That was actually just, out there holding his phone up, trying to get some video footage. But at the same time, the wind was that strong that it was able to knock him down. Really? Okay, right. But Joe Biden is, he's a shell of a man, to be honest with you. He's a character. He's a real character. But according to the media, and especially it's going down in Washington, they say that it was heavy wind that prevented Biden from walking up the stairs properly. See, the White House blames wind for him going up the steps. I had to watch this video. This video here is different. All right. White House spokesman says Friday that President Biden fell on the steps of Air Force One because it's pretty windy outside. The White House Deputy Press Secretary Karen Janine Perry told reporters aboard the presidential aircraft that she also was nearly toppled by wind. Okay. From what I'm hearing, the gust out there was no more than 16 miles an hour. Now, I didn't pull that ticket. I'm going to pull it and add it later. Yeah, I'm just going to add it later. But they said the wind gust was about 16 miles an hour. Now, how is it that a 16 mile an hour wind can do that can topple you over? But to me, that was a bad excuse. Because in a situation like this, the White House planned for situations like this, basically. They have contingency plans, especially when it comes to high winds. This is what Dan Scavino Jr. said about contingency plans. Check this out. He says, I'm out of the way. Biden White House says he fell because of wind. Here's a behind-the-scenes fact. If it's windy, they drop down the lower steps of Air Force One, and we could enter the plane that way. After walking off of Marine One, the lower steps were not out because it was not windy. They are lying to you again, but all of you probably already know that. That's crazy. Yeah, they're gonna keep lying to us. They're gonna keep lying to us. That's basically it, because they have to keep putting lipstick on this pig. Because here it is right here. This is your boy, the boy that everybody likes. He's coming down that side door. All right. And it wasn't windy that day. On this day right here, let me tell you what happened on this day. All right. On this day, the president was visiting right here, Harangsho Jiaoxin Air Force, the airport, excuse me, in China. But you know, everyone knows that China is extremely racist, and they try to tell us about racism here. China is so racist there that, I mean, black is just, they don't even wear black. It's just that bad. Anyway, they didn't even provide him with the actual stairs to come down the top ramp. Because normally wherever you land, especially with Air Force One, they provide you with the stairs, you know, that's on the back of the truck, right? And it's pulled into place, and he comes down that one. But they didn't do that, so they had to open up the back door for the black man there to come out in China. Yeah, right. Okay, but you know what? Trump had to use this back door also. Let me show you. In the heavy wind situations, they do have contingency plans. And in this situation here, you can see, let's see if I can start it over again. Well, you can see how windy it is that day. Now, they tried to make a big deal out of this, right? Look at the title of this. President Trump runs up the stairs to Air Force One to avoid brutal winds without a second look at Melania before she blatantly dodges his hand attempt to grab her hand when they landed. Okay, but check this out. Let me show you something. And this is what they were talking about, and hopefully it'll play again. I may have to, here it is right here. I think it's this one. See, and right here, he tried to grab her hand, but they say she shunned him off. It's obvious she's trying to hold her dress down. But you know, any motion or anything against him, they're gonna amplify it 10 times to make it. Oh, look, she shunned him off. She shunned him off. Look, she's clearly trying to hold her dress down. Really? I'm like, can y'all be any more stupid than what you're being right now? Okay, now what did that look like to you guys? It looked like a woman trying to hold her dress down because the wind was blowing real bad. But they wanted to make it look like, and that was 2018, if I'm correct. And they landed in North Carolina, and the wind was really bad that day. They had to come out of the bottom door. You know, the door that's made for situations like that. But you know, and plus, if they need be, they can actually get out of the backside of it too. But that was one situation there that shows that the wind, really? Okay. You got to come with a better lie than that. You really do. But Biden faces bipartisan backlash after firing. I'm getting tongue twisted right here. Biden faces bipartisan backlash after firing prosecutor probing the corruption among the Illinois Democrats. Look, I'm getting all tongue twisted, man. They have all of these P's and B's in here. It's crazy. Biden faces bipartisan backlash and firing prosecutor probing corruption among Illinois Democrats. Okay, that sounds a little bit better. All right. Yeah, what happened was, it's right here. Democrat Senator, House GOP lawmakers, and Illinois Representative Party have all condemned the move to fire Chicago-based U.S. Attorney John Losh. Now, John Losh, he's the one that was investigating the selection fraud that occurred on back in November of last year. And they had several people lined up to take, take the ride for that. But guess what happened? Your illustrious president fires him. Normally they ask them to step down, but he fires him. Sound like a conflict of interest to me, don't you think? I wonder how they're going to get away with that. And got some semi-good news for you. Check this out. Donald Trump to start his own social media platform. The former U.S. President Donald Trump, who is banned from Twitter, Facebook, and other social media sites after attacks on the Capitol, which we know that was a fake. Anyway, the attacks on the Capitol, is planning to launch his own platform, the senior aide says. And they say this is probably going to happen in the next couple of months. But from what I'm hearing and reading, it's supposed to be better. It's similar to Twitter, but it's supposed to be something a lot better and a lot safer, and none of the senseless censorship that's going on. He talked about doing that. He actually talked about starting his own social media network, which hey. He's in a position to make the money. I mean, to do it because it's big money. It's big money in social media. So especially in something like with a Twitter platform, a Twitter or a Facebook platform, something like that. But because of this, Twitter and Facebook, they lose $51 billion. $51 billion. Now, $51 billion they lost, but they lost that in 2 days. Right after they banned him from Twitter and Facebook, they lost $51 billion. I'm gonna let that sink in for a second. Because of your hatred for someone, you're willing to give up $51 billion plus because of your hatred for a person. Couldn't do it. I don't care how much I hate you. I couldn't do it. I'm not going to give up my coin just because I don't like you. Now it's time for my new segment. Cuffed and Uncuffed. Basically, I'm gonna feature certain people. I'm not gonna say dumb criminals, but they have a lot of criminals that are dumb. But you have some bad situations where some people are arrested and they shouldn't be arrested, and you have some people that should be arrested and they're not arrested. So I'm gonna throw it out there. Should they be cuffed or uncuffed? All right. The first victim on Cuffed and Uncuffed. Actually, it was gonna be that shooting that happened in Nashville with the young lady who ended up dying from her injuries that she sustained in the shooting. So I said, no, I'm not going to do that because that situation it was wrong on many different levels between her and the officer. But at the same time, someone's life was lost on that one, and that one there was terrible. But let me show you this one. This one right here is going to trip you out. A man charged with one murder confessed he killed 16. Yeah. A man who was arrested and accused of killing a New Jersey man, he said sexually abused him when he was a child, who's considered a person of interest in the death of his ex-wife and 3 others in New Mexico, told investigators that he's responsible for a total of 16 slayings. And they're just not catching him. So I guess this right here is a no-brainer, right? That was a no-brainer. Cuff or uncuffed? Cuffed, of course. Cuffed, of course. Okay. This guy right here, I gotta commend him. All right, this guy right here. Let me pull up my notes real quick of his name. His name is Nakeem Meekins. He was awaiting trial, and he was released. He was released on bail. On bond. Now check this out. This is where a mistake happened at. He was supposed to have a $300,000 bond. The second charge he had, the bond was $1. I don't know what he did to have a bond for $1. Probably jaywalking or something like that. $1. Anyway it goes, when they were going through processing, whoever processed him put the $1 on the aggravated, I think it was attempted murder. It was attempted murder charge. So he put the $1 on the attempted murder charge. I think they put it on both charges, to be honest with you. And he bonded himself out and left. But then he started seeing himself on the wanted posters and everything like that. And so he brought his lawyer back this time. And he came back with him. I commend the guy for coming back. I really do. Even though, like I said, you still facing a attempted murder charge. But and then you came back. So, but in this situation right here, yeah, it's a good chance you could very well be guilty, but that was a mistake on their part. And I think they should honor the bond. They may as well honor the bond. Shoot. And actually, he came back. It's supposed to be a $300,000 bond. He's still a suspect. And, me being a police officer, ex-police officer, I can't sit up and say, oh, let him go, something like that. But, it's a mistake on their part. Had he not came back, they would have had to eat that one because that was their mistake. But at the same time, he did turn himself in. He turned himself in with his lawyer, and they're probably going to negotiate a cheaper bond or stuff like that. And to me, probably the reason why he came back is because of the fact that he probably got evidence to show that he didn't do it. So he didn't commit the attempted murder or something like that for that charge to stick. He's probably not guilty in that situation. And instead of running from it, he probably chose to face the music on it. So is this Karen right here? A Kentucky mom charged with murder after a 2-year-old son dies of a drug overdose. Now, this mother had a 2-year-old boy that got a hold of her fentanyl while she was sleeping. And basically, you know how children are. He saw mama do it, so he's going to eat the fentanyl, and he ate it. And next thing you know, he had a drug overdose and later died. And you can look this up if you want to, but he died of a drug overdose. Now, we all have our vices. We do. When your vices put your children at risk, that's a vice you have to give up. But it all depends on your relationship with your children. Find God first, then take care of you, and then you take care of your children. But to leave the stuff out, because a 2-year-old, they're going to take it. The first thing they're going to do is put it in their mouth. The first thing they're going to do anything is put it in their mouth. But cuffed or uncuffed? Of course, cuffed. That's 3 for 3 today on the cuff. I'm scouring the internet for some uncuffed situations, but hadn't seen one yet. But other than that, let me get out of here, folks. Just thank y'all for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share if you can. I need to get my numbers up before I start dropping some real nuggets. Right now, I'm just trying to fill the ways with a little bit of news, a little bit of bullshiggity that's going on in this world, as well as get some good information out there. Especially this comical cabinet that we have right now in the White House and the Oval Office and all that, and yeah, they're really showing themselves. Anyway, it goes. Until the next video, people. Peace.